Alright, welcome back to the CGB CUBECAR League. We are back here at race number 16 in Montreal, Canada for our only international race this season, I believe. And here's the track information for this weekend. You can tell this track is very different from anything we've had on the points schedule so far. It is the only track that is international this season, which may change in the future. And it is the only track, or is the first road course race this season. We have one more after this, actually two more after this. We have Watkins Glen right before the playoffs starts, and Charlotte Roval in the round of 12. So those will be our playoffs races for the rest of the season, or road course races for the rest of the season, my bad. And now we'll get into the starting lineup for today's race here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Starting on the pole for the first time in their career is Peckering in the 18, and starting second, best career start for Lightning McQueen in the 95. Row 2 is Sands Club and So Retro. Row 3 is Bob the Builder and Melee Fox. Row 4 is Milowetta and Raccoon. Row 5, Hee 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 Ha in Cubendorf. Row 6, Egg Dog and Hubris. Row 7, Sheepmobile and Squidward. Row 8, Cole and Beavy. Row 9, Guten Amori Jr. Row 10, The Racer and Racelin. Row 11, Bloodclot and Igus. Row 12, Pac-Mobile and Donkey Kong. Row 13, Imposter and Doge Cube. Row 14, Squid Games and Trolling. Row 15, Fear and Miku. Row 16, Shadow and No Maidens. Row 17, Sanic and Chow. Row 18, Among Us and Amori Cube. Row 19, Dragalia Lost and Dumbcat. Row 20, Gun and Daisy. And rounding out the field for this weekend is Jinx in the 42. Definitely a lot of interesting starting positions for some cubes in the top spots today. We're definitely seeing So Retro way up front as the cars get rolling here. Camera am I on? Oh, there we go. Not the spectator camera. There we go. Yeah, you're definitely seeing some cubes up front that you don't normally see up front in qualifying all season. That's because some of these have better road course qualifying ratings than the rest of the field. But yeah, you'll see very quickly that this track is very different from anything we've had in the past. It's very different than Rainbow Road, that's for sure, because it's got actual road course features. Got a lot of tight corners, straightaways, all the normal stuff you'd find on a track like this. As the pace car takes them around for a trip through the corners of this long and elaborate road course here in Canada, we can just see the sights and sounds of this track. This is an older version. I'd say it's around from 2005. Well, it's modeled after the one from 2005, 2006, maybe, when the Xfinity Series ran here. But I'd say that is not that different from the modern version, which is used in Formula One, although there are talks for it to come back in NASCAR pretty soon. But today we're hosting it here, and we're here to see what it could potentially be, even though the physics in this mod are very different where they are from normal stuff. But it don't matter. We're just here to have fun. We could see a new winner this weekend, as all of the top 7 are cubes that have not won a race this season. So if any of the top 7 manages to make their way to the finish line, they will lock themselves into the playoffs. Potentially. Although some of these cubes are pretty far back in points, like Sir Retro and McQueen, who've had pretty bad seasons so far. But we've also got others that are higher up in points that could use a win, like Beavy up there, and Melee Fox. Bob the Builder, I believe, is 3rd in points right now. Still doesn't have a win somehow. Then further back, you've got cubes like Milowetta, who's been going up and up in points every race. You've got Cubendorf. You've got Squidward, who has not won a race yet, has had two top 10 finishes in a row. And this part of the track is the long straightaway that goes towards the final chicane, towards the start-finish line. So we should be going green momentarily once they get through these last couple of corners. They just got to slowly make their way down the straightaway. And while I was running a practice race to get the picture for the thumbnail, 2 cubes actually had mechanical failures before the start of the green flag, so the game extended it by another lap because they stopped on the track, and let's just say that was not ideal. And so if you're wondering who it was, that was So Retro and Imposter who had issues in the practice race. We're not worrying about that now. We're here to see how they will do at this grand road course. And the green flag is out, and we are racing at Montreal. How many of them are going to get spun out in the first corner? Who knows? Peckering and Sands Club working together inside and outside, but now McQueen goes to the top lane with Peckering, but let's see how they work their way out through this first lap. Only 37 laps at this track, but they will go through the fuel pretty quickly around here because fuel mileage is very whack here. Oh, Sands Club hit the wall coming out of the Wall of Champions. That's what that corner is called. At least I believe that's the Wall of Champions, but he scraped the wall a little bit. That's definitely something you do not want to have happen at a track like this because it's a long way back around to pit road to get your damage repaired. But Peckering's just already making a pretty big gap ahead of everyone else. McQueen now in second, So Retro battling Sands Club for third. And then Bob the Builder and Melee Fox are in fifth and sixth. Melwood is ahead of Raccoon for seventh, and they're all starting to even out a little bit. McQueen now making a tiny bit of a gap ahead of Sands Club now, who's moved up to third. So I guess that wall damage from earlier didn't bother them that much. Got a nice overhead view of the chicane that goes, or the loop that goes into the back straightaway, or the front straightaway technically, because it's on the same area as the start-finish line. They're all starting to even out quite a bit. That's normal at a track like this. They want to be as even and as single file as possible so that they can get runs for the draft and get up there as fast as possible so that they can start passing cubes. That's a good camera angle right there, though, so you can see any problems that happen further back. But I'm going to wait for the ticker to update and see if we can see any cubes that have made massive changes since the start of this race. Squidward in the 5 and Squidward in 10 and Hee on the 5 running pretty close together, but not making any moves. For now, at least. Oh, Squidward gets real close to the Wall of Champions there. Looks like a lot of cubes have gained and lost positions. Looks like Squidward actually gained the most out of anyone on this start. Dogecube and Miku seem to have lost a lot of spots too, but looks like the leaders are starting to get ahead as we've still got some battles going on back here. The battle for last between Gun and Jinx back here. Gun's going to slightly get ahead, but he's way out of line. He's going to stay in the back with Dragalia Lost and Dumb Cat, who probably don't have very good road course stats considering how they're doing right now. Right mirror. Ooh, a little bit of dirt being kicked up right there in that corner. Donkey Kong and Fiero are going at it there, and now Donkey Kong's trying to catch up to Squid Games. There's Racelyn and Igus. Racelyn's teammate Peckering right now whooping the field the best that she can. And I guess we'll get ahead of the 80 of Racelyn for now. Well, Cole's taking a look around Goots for, I believe, as the 14th. Actually, I believe this might be for the 16th spot. He's going to take it wide. Who's going to have it here? Cole's actually going to have the position. Here comes Amori Jr. right behind Goots, trying to take a spot away. Diving into the first few corners here. Goots has the advantage, but now Amori Jr. does. Almost gets in the grass a little bit, and they're still side by side coming out of the first few corners. And Goots now gets the advantage. Meanwhile, it looks like a little bit of battling up front. No. Looks like the leaders are starting to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Oh, the Racer in the 16 just slammed the wall. I believe Packmobile did too. They must have hit the curb a little bit coming off of the corner. They must have lost a lot of grip and slammed the wall. But now the 11 is past the 16. Looks like the 19 and the 80 are looking to pass as well. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of that because that corner is very tough. Oh, caution is out on the track. Well, Jinx is no longer the cube in last place, so I think it might have been these two involved. But caution is out already. Let's rewind and see what happened. Was it these two? Oh, it was these two. So Sanic and Dragalia Lost got together. Right around the World Champions, just like I said, that'd be a problem spot. And now Sanic gets some big damage. Oh, wow, Jinx almost hits the wall. But yeah, these two cubes already have wins to their season. Because Sanic won the last race at Gateway and Dragalia Lost won at Phoenix, so they're technically still in. But a bad finish here today would definitely not be good for them. So we're unfortunately under our first caution very early here at Montreal. And the field's just going to have to come around for very long caution periods. Although hopefully they changed it for this track. I'm not exactly sure if they did. But Pekarine's lead has basically been decimated, even though it wasn't that much of a lead. Anyway, it was like 1.6 seconds ahead of McQueen, but... both those cubes, Sanic and Dragalia Lost, have never really been involved in many incidents this season. So seeing them involved in a crash is not very common, or very surprising, I must say. The real question is, will they pit? Because I believe they might actually pit because they haven't gotten that far into the race, but 4 laps is still a decent amount of tire wear at a track like this. So things already getting kind of interesting here in Canada. We're just going to have them come all the way around to see how things work and how they will come to pit road. Don't actually know what the telltale sign for them coming down pit road is, but I believe if they go to the left side of the pace car, that means they're committing down to come pit road. Looks like Dragalia Lost, or not Dragalia Lost, Pekarine making that little shift to try and come onto pit road, but since we're so early on, some strategy might come into play. As we look at our top 10 for the first time today, looks like Hee on the 5 is the last cube in the top 10. Followed up by 45 of Raccoon, then Cubendorf, Meloetta, Amelia Fox, Bob the Builder, So Retro, Sands Club, McQueen, and Pekarine. All in the top 10. Ooh. McQueen and Pekarine staying out, so we are seeing some differing strategies. Our 2 leaders are staying out on the track. Looks like Sheepmobile's staying out. Actually, yeah, Sheepmobile, Goots are staying out. Squidward's staying out. Racelin's staying out. So is Donkey Kong and Trolling. So we're already seeing some differing strategies early on in this race. What is going on back here? Why? Oh, I think he just hit the tire barrier. Yeah, he did. Wait. He hit the tire barrier. What's he doing? Oh my god, did you just retire from that? Hold on. The 33 just hit the tires. We need to rewind and see what happened here. So now he's in the tire barriers. Did he get forced out of line? Oh, he was coming around, I guess, to stay out. Or maybe he wanted to commit to pit road and then bam, right into the tire barriers. What a strange move. Actually, that might take him out of the race because his engine was smoking. Oh yeah, he is out. He's out with accident damage. So a very strange way to start this race here in Montreal. We're going to have to try and figure out if the pace car will turn the lights off before the end of the caution, because there's some tracks, or at least there's some modded tracks that have it configured so that it will take it to 1 to go before the rest of the caution, or the rest of the caution lap is over. So we'll just watch the pace car for a little bit I know these cautions are quite long on a track like this, so you'll never really know if that's the case. Oh, no, it does work. All right, so that's pretty cool. So the cautions won't be as deviously long as they are in on some other tracks like Road America. Awesome. All right, cool. Thank you, game modders, for making amazing things like that for your tracks. Otherwise, we'd have 5-minute cautions, and those are not... Actually, not 5-minute, like 10-minute cautions, and those are not fun. Especially at places like Road America, which I've been thinking about adding to the schedule in the future, potentially, but who knows. Not looking likely, but now your top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah, your top 7 did not come to pit road, so we're going to have to come and see what happens here. If the new tires, I mean, new tires are not going to be that much different, but this select few will have to pit earlier than everyone else will. So it's going to be difficult to tell what the strategies will be for everyone. Also, I'm surprised the 16 didn't stay on pit road for longer because they smacked the wall at the Wall of Champions, and so did Pac-Mobile, so those two are actually running right next to each other on the restart here. Once they come out of the chicane, pace car will pull off. Or once they go into the chicane. There it goes. Oh, the pace car hit the wall. Oh, whoa, whoa. Raceland's coming to pit road now. So I guess now she's taking tires. Weird. So I guess their strategies is to do whatever they want to do. Oh my god, I think the 18 got a bad restart. Because everyone around her just started shuffling out. Here comes the 95 on the inside. Here comes McQueen. Followed by Squidward and Sheepmobile. All 4 of these cubes need wins to get into the playoffs. Goots, who won at Kansas, already won this season, but he's looking forward to get another. But now they're starting to single file out a little bit again. But it won't be long until we start seeing cubes with new tires get out ahead of everyone else. Oh, wow, Pecorine already getting a pretty big advantage ahead of everyone else, but now Squidward's taking the dive to the inside, try and get past McQueen. Ooh, but he's got help from Sheepmobile in the outside lane there. And he's going to get ahead of McQueen, and so is the 30 of Sheepmobile. Pecorine's still getting way ahead of everyone else. The 80's on pit road, but only just for a brief moment. I believe they're still on pit road, actually. No, they're not, so I guess they just came off. And now they're with Dumb Cat and... Yeah, they're with Dumb Cat now, so that was a really weird moment for the 80. It really needs a good season here. Pecorine now under attack from the 10 of Squidward, trying to pass her for the lead. Squidward's had 2 top 10 finishes recently at Darlington and Gateway, so he's on some good momentum going into this race, and a win would certainly help him get into the chase for the championship. But a win for Pecorine would mean that we would have another actual entry entered into the chance for the championship, or the chase for the championship. Coming to lap 7. Pecorine's going to lead the lap, but Squidward's still right behind. You can see some cubes right there making some moves to try and get around everyone else behind them. Taking a bit of a jump on the curbs as McQueen is now fallen to 4th. And now Goots trying to make a move on the 95, but slips up a little bit. Here comes Donkey Kong in the 98 right behind as well. There's Cubendorf and Melee Fox going at it back there. I believe both of these cubes took tires. Ooh, almost made some contact with the 95, and Eggdog just slammed the wall coming out into the Wall of Champions. Jesus. So a lot of them are having grip issues in the Wall of Champions, which could be an issue for later on. As you can see, both Pac-Mobile and the Racer are now falling back further than where they were before. Ooh, Shadow and Daisy now battling each other. They were battling each other at Darlington, and they were battling each other at Gateway last week for a good amount of time. But Shadow ended up getting a top 10. I believe Daisy fell just short of a top 10 last race at Gateway, but I don't exactly remember. There's Omori Sr. and Daisy, or now Omori Sr. is passing Daisy, and I believe Sanic and Raceland now just doing the best they can to do with the equipment they have. Pecorine getting a bit of an advantage now over Squidward. Sheepmobile still in 3rd, McQueen in 4th, then Goots in 5th, DK in 6th still, Sands Club in 7th. The rest of your top 10 here, actually so retro. Past Cubador for that top 10 spot, so he will go ahead and get ahead of everyone else. Now the top 10 is starting to spread out quite a bit. Although not as much as of a lead as we had earlier with the last green flag run, where we had, oh, we got an alert on the message board. It's the 72 on pit road. Oh, and Hubris. They had damage repair? No, Hubris is taking all 4 tires. Miku's pitting for damage repair. Let's see if anything happened here with Miku and Doge Cube. Wow, they are getting way out of place on the inside of Doge Cube. I don't think anything too substantial happened, but now she's coming off of pit road with the 07. But that's your points leader right now, the 07. And she's, well, she's not looking for another bad finish after DNFing early at Gateway. So you could say we probably will have a new points leader after this race if she doesn't manage to recover, but not much passing has been made so far in this race, so who knows if that'll actually be the case. Melee Effects now running 11th, Eggdog 12th. Oh, now we got a battle between Cole and Raccoon, 2 cubes that are actually battling for the chance to win the grand prize at the end of the season if they win the championship. One of those 2 already has a win and the other doesn't, so that should show how the rivalry between these 2 should be basically lessened, I should say, because these 2 really don't need to get in each other's way. Oh, a bit of a gap between the 11 of Blood Clot and the 66 of Vivi right behind. There's 34 trying to make a crossover move on the 19. Is there a caution again? No, they're not. Scoreboard's actually making a good bit of ground on our leader right now. He's making some... We got another alert on the chat box. It's the 53 on pit road. He's pitting for damage repair as well. And that's also the key that's actually doing pretty good in points right now, so a bad points day for that team would definitely be bad. I think the best keeping points right now in this top 5 is Squidward, I think? I think it's Squidward. It's either Squidward or Sheetmobile, but I'm not exactly sure. Now a bit of a 5-car breakaway from our leaders. Now Among Us is out of pit road. Where now he is pitting, now getting off of his stall. Pecorine now still getting a pretty good advantage ahead of Squidward and Sheetmobile. Now they're starting to even out once again, but once these straightaways are the best opportunities for them to get back up and try and pass each other. Although not a lot of racing opportunities have been seen so far this race. The 19 has actually gotten a bit of distance ahead of the 34. But so far, not much is going on, as the field is pretty spread out now, considering that some cubes have already still pitted. With the 53 being the worst offender out of all of them, being very far back. But now through this chicane, Pecorine will... Oh, McQueen just hit the wall back there. Slid up the track, and I think he hit the grass, and now he hit the wall. And now Goots is right behind, looking to take that 4th place spot away. Yeah, the Wall of Champions definitely more like being the Wall of Cubes, as most of them are actually ending up hitting the wall here. So not a lot of action going on right there. Or action going... All the action is going in that corner, but no more action anywhere else except for maybe the final corners, because those are pretty good passing spots. Also, I'm pretty sure that signboard back there is broken. It's supposed to be a GIF, but it's not actually playing anything, which is quite funny. But Goots never managed to pass McQueen, even though he's got that new damage from hitting the wall. Ooh, Bob the Builder making a move on Sands Club for 7th. Sands Club's got a bit of the advantage because he had the outside lane on that corner. And he's going to get away with that 7th spot once again. Ooh, Daisy and Gunn now battling each other for the 31st spot, and Daisy's going to get ahead of Gunn here. Dragali Lost has actually made up a good bit of time, or a good bit of position since that restart. Probably because 3 or 4 keeps have pitted since that last restart for reasons we do not know, at least not yet. Still a battle between these 3 right here, Fear, Imposter, which I realize these 2 back here have very similar faces. And then the 19 of Iga is right in front of them, who's locked into the playoffs, and so is the 13, but the 34 is not. So he's looking for a win in these next few races to actually get into the chase for the championship. Peccarin's still under threat from Squidward. Actually, someone must have spun out. Yeah, someone must have hit the wall coming out of that corner, which is probably why Miku and or Hubris and or Among Us pitted for damage repair, because they probably got spun out into that barrier right there by someone. So we'll never know what the real case of that was. Peccarin's still ahead of Squidward by a decent amount, but he's gaining a little bit. Last time he ran almost 2/10 faster than Peccarin did. Almost, actually more 1/10 faster, but let's see if he can actually get some speed before the next set of pit stops, because she clearly has a pit before everyone else does. Actually, most of everyone in this top 5 have to pit once they get back to green flag pit stops, which should happen, but I don't think anyone else will race each other that hard before the end of this race. Speaking of which, here comes Squid Games making a move on Pac-Mobile. Whoa. Pac-Mobile gets way up close to the wall, but he's going to stay ahead of the 01. Now the racer in 16 running all by himself. Pac-Mobile has actually fallen back quite a bit since that restart. He's now running 29th. A little bit of dirt being kicked up, I believe, by the 45, who is out of line here. Sands Club and DK looking to make some moves with each other. Let's see if they actually can, or Sands Club can. He's making a dive bomb on 98 right here. And will he get ahead of Donkey Kong? He's going to have a chance to fight back on the inside here, but no, Sands Club will get ahead of the 98 for that 6th position. Peccarin, Squidward, and Sheepmobile. Still your top 3. Actually, your top 5 remains the same. Mainly everything else is going to remain the same for a while. As Among Us is now just crossing the start-finish line, and there's the 18 who's about to get to the final chicane before, or the final S's before the finish line, so you could say we could have a lap car problem in this race, but it's very unlikely in case we have another yellow, which is entirely possible, but who knows when they'll actually start coming down pit road and losing those spots that they gained under that caution for not pitting. Right now, our fastest lap of the race is a 1:05.261, or 1 minute 5 seconds. Or actually, 1 minute 45 by Peccarin. No surprise, since she's the leader right now. Squidward is making a bit of a move to try and pass her for that lead, even though they both are on the same pit cycle. It's going to be a few laps off compared to tires compared to everyone else in this field. Getting fuel is very important here as well. Squidward actually lost a bunch of momentum there. I don't know what happened there. He must have messed up the corner, but he is way behind the 18 now. Top 5 still remains the same. Although I think Sands Club passed Donkey Kong, that was certain thing. Actually, Donkey Kong passed him back. So now he's going to get back to that 6th position once we get back around here. Where he's going to be officially classified in that 6th position unless Sands Club can do something here. Ooh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Ooh, there's the 11 and the 28 running very close together back here before the first couple of corners. Let's see if they can make a dive bomb to the inside. Actually, these three have been running pretty close together for the majority of this race. And these are all cubes that do not have wins, but after having that second place finish at Gateway, you can tell the 11 is very capable of winning, but the 28 has not really been anywhere close to victory lane this season, except for maybe Daytona, which is where he came closest to winning a race. But all these three are eligible for winning the prize at the end of the season. As we see the 19 and the 5 dueling it out. Remember, these two have a history. I mentioned it earlier at Fontana, when the 5 got the win stolen away by the 19 in the last remaining laps. Actually, the 19 messed up the corner, and now here comes Fear in the 13 trying to pass and get around, I guess, the 19 here. Holding off that last spot in the top 20. Well, now Fear messes up the corner there, and here comes the 34 of Imposter trying to pass the 19 of Vegas. Ooh, late braking for the 13 is going to make him get even closer to the 19, but I don't know how much that'll help him. As we'll focus on the front now, as Squidward still making a bit of a charge towards the front, but still can't find where he needs to pass to get out front. Meanwhile, let's check on the actual race that's going on right now. IRL. Oh, it's back green again. Nice. Wonder how long that'll stay with all the rain that's going on down there. It'll be wild and crazy. No one's slapping the wall this time. Let's see if DK or Sands Club do it. Sands Club actually had a really good corner there. The 97 is on pit road. Ooh, we got a battle for 5th between Sheepmobile and... Oh, Sheepmobile is falling back to 5th now, as McQueen now goes to 3rd and Goots now goes to 4th. But the 97 was just on pit road. That is Packmobile. I guess being slow for the rest of the races caused him to come down early after he hit that wall. So now he's really suffering with that speed that he no longer has. He's going to lose a lot of spots here. Pecorine and Squidward still working together, trying to get out front. I swear one day I'm going to accidentally rip the cord out of my headset, out of my computer one day. It's going to be awful. All the builders actually fallen back a little bit to the edge of the top 10. There's Cubendorf, the last cube in the top 10. And further back, 19 and the 5 still going at it, as well as 13 and the 34. Ooh, Dragalia Lost gets a little wide, but she's going to have a better corner exit than the 63 of Dumbcat. Oh, the 01 of Squid Game's with trouble. He's got an engine problem. He might have to come down pit road now, as he is slowing down a little bit. He's going to have to come down pit road. Another cube that has not won a race this year. Almost won at Charlotte, but that one ended up going to August after he got slowed up by lap traffic. And yeah, he's coming on pit road right now. What a tough break for that team. Did poorly in qualifying and now doing poorly in the race, and now with that engine issue, he's going to have to come back from a lot of adversity for the playoffs if he wants to go ahead and win. Squidward's still trying to get the lead away from Peckering, who's led every lap in this race so far. Squidward's been pretty good at the intermediates track. He's shown flashes of brilliance at the intermediates track. That sounds very weird out of context, but at road courses, he might be another one of the road course merchants. He's doing pretty good right now. McQueen's still ahead of Goots and Sheepmobile, who's fallen to 5th. Donkey Kong still in 6th. Melee Fox back up to 8th. I haven't talked about Amore Jr. at all. I went to bed very late last night, which is why I'm very sleepy, as you can tell. Or as my friends say, eepy. Most of the keeps just trying to get to the end, as they know they can't really get up front and win. Squid Game's actually made it off of pit road, so he will continue the race. Just don't know exactly where he is. There he is. Not too far ahead of our leaders. Actually, not too far at all away from our leaders. Let's see if Squidward would actually make a pass. Actually, the battle right here, the true battle between these two positions, will really be after they come down pit road, because they'll most likely be pitting together. Because since this track is so big, it's worse on your fuel than it is at a normal track, where you can stretch out your laps more than you usually can. But if they pit together, that means they'll probably be exiting pit road together if they both have good pit stops. So it really just depends on how they do that. I believe the 5 Hee Hee Ha is losing some spots as well. Where is he right now? He's way back in 22nd. Goodness. So he's lost spots to Igosphere and Squid Games. And Beavy, I think, too. Not Squid Games, Imposter. Well, Shadow messes up the corner a little bit. He's going to lose some spots. Doge Cube and No Maidens, 2 cubes that have won races this season. Doge Cube won at Talladega and at Fontana. No Maidens won at Martinsville. All of those tracks are very different than this, so no surprise that they're hanging out back here in 26th and 27th. We would all expect Among Us in the 53 to be one of the best in the field right now, but considering he won the All-Star race at Rainbow Road, and that was a road course, but no. He had an issue on pit road. He had some damage from something. I believe he got spun out into this corner right here. No, it's in a few corners from now, but he got spun out at one point with Squidward, almost hit the wall. But this lap battle, this lap car of Squid Games is definitely going to hurt Peckering. Was he slowing her down a lot? And here comes Squidward. 20 is on pit road now. That's Eggdog fixing some damage. So a lot of them just coming down now, fixing damage from earlier. I guess either from being on pit road as the 18 cleanly gets ahead of the 01 and puts him a lap down. So that's our first cube that is running that's gotten a lap down in this race. And he's probably going to be slower than the rest of the field because he had that engine issue. The Eggdog was in the 13th position. He came on pit road and pitted. Now he's all the way back in 34th, maybe even 35th, 36th. Now he's exiting pit road. Squidward now trying to get ahead of Squid Games, and in that process has lost a lot of momentum to Peckering in the 18. Looks like Goots has a bit of a run on Squid Queen. No, not really. That's just the distance messing me up. Like, you see these two, and you think they're close together because of the depth perception, but if you do this, they're not actually that close. Ooh, battle between Omori Sr. and Doge Cube for the 26th spot. Doge Cube has the advantage, but Omori Cube is there. See if he can actually get up there and pass the 00. Do some late. Whoa, nice camera. But no, he will not go for late braking. Instead, he will go and pass the 00 of Doge Cube here. Or he will try to. Oh, now the 11's on pit road. What in the world are they getting damage from? But now Daisy's on pit road as well, so. Oh, now she's taking tires, so I guess now is the opening time for green flag pit stops? Makes me wonder. Very strange. Nice cameras, by the way. Bob the Builder and Omori Jr. battling for the last spot in the top 10. Actually, Bob the Builder's lost out a lot of spots. And that'll get Cubendorf into the top 10 as well, unless Omori Jr. can get up there. Sheepmobile trying to get around Squid Games. And Pecorine gets a pretty good distance away ahead of the 10. Ooh, brief frame of Donkey Kong there while I was switching cameras. That's the thing you'd see in an ARG. But the only cube that has made up positions and is on newer tires than the rest of the field is Sans Club. So I believe when everyone else pits, whenever he has the pit, then he'll be the leader once everyone else does, and he'll be able to get some of those 5 bonus points. I believe Sheepmobile might have just hit the wall. It all comes down to when Pecorine will come to pit, if she even pits at all. I'd be shocked if she didn't. As Bloodclot and Daisy, the last couple to come on pit road. So after having that second place finish last week at Gateway, it looks like the 11 of Bloodclot is not going to have a good finish here today. Well, that brings up some cubes like Igus and Fear back into the top 20. That puts Shadow in the top 20 as well. Pecorine's just whooping the field throughout this whole race. Even though her lap times really haven't changed all that much. She ran 2/10 faster than Squidward did that last lap. Probably because of the lap traffic, but who knows. Igus and Fear potentially could battle each other back here. Doge Cube and Omori Sr. still going at it into the loop. Is Omori Sr. going to make the move here? He's looking, but Doge Cube's going to have the advantage because that outside lane is faster. And he's going to get away with it. Then Jinx, who started last up to 31st, not bad of a recovery, up 10 spots from the start of this race. And now Sheepmobile's on pit road for damage repair. So I guess we're just seeing really, really staggered pit stops between the rest of the fields. Or maybe because he hit the wall. He must have hit the wall hard enough that he had to pit for repairs, so who knows. Squidward now, actually Omori Jr.'s now in the top 10 as Sheepmobile pitted. So it's looking pretty good for him right now. Ty Gibbs is running third? What the hell? Yeah, the Bristol asphalt race that is going on right now in the great old track of Bristol, Tennessee. Is definitely proving to be a weird one, as it was pushed up. The start was pushed up due to rain, and now it's just running. But now with another rain red flag there, thankfully no rain's going to impede on this parade here in Montreal, especially not with my area. Still no sign of the leaders on when they'll come to pit road. Sheetmobile's not going to run with Packmobile. The Pack is so back. But Liz Squidward's the only one that can run. Actually, he ran a faster lap time than Packard did. Oh, but he went wide in the corner. He's going to lose a lot of momentum here. It just depends on when these cubes that have worse tires will pit. Now McQueen is on pit road. He hit the wall earlier as well, so he's coming in to fix that damage. But these cubes that pitted early might actually have an advantage when it comes to when everyone else starts pitting, because the top, let's see, let me get the chat out of the way real quick. So the 18, the 10, the 7, the 98 have all yet to pit, so when these 5 come down pit road, and inevitably when everyone else comes down for their only green flag stop of the race, then those cubes that are already pitted that are about to go a lap down in the future, actually I don't think they will go a lap down because they're pretty far ahead, but now McQueen's going to have to come out. No, actually he is coming out now. He's going to be ahead of Miku and Eggdog. But there's Peccary now going onto the back straightaway. Or the front straightaway, really. The final straightaway, because that's the only one that's there. But once she inevitably has to pit, because she's not pitted yet, and I believe then Sands Club will be the leader, but then Sands Club will have to pit towards the end of this race, which may end up being good for the cubes that are already pitted. And currently the highest running cube that pitted early is Hubris in the 07, but if she had to pitch for damage repair, then she must be slower. A smidge slower than the rest of the field, so who knows if she'll actually be up to speed compared to the rest of the field running right now. But Squidward still, he ran a slightly slower, faster lap than Peccary did right there, but not by much. Fastest lap is still the 18, second fastest is the 13 of Fear, then McQueen, then Squidward, then Daisy, then Goots, Raccoon, Shadow, Sheetmobile, and Sands Club. So you can tell how these road course ringers are definitely putting their work into getting a good finish here at Montreal. Here's a battle right here between Squid Games to lap down and Meloetta. That's going to put Meloetta behind him. And now Cole's going to try and take advantage of that in the 28. Oh, he goes to the inside in this corner, but Meloetta's going to cut him off. And he's going to slap the wall. Sends him into the wall there. He's definitely not going to be happy about that, that's for sure. Especially when he watches the VOD. He's not going to be happy about that one. It's like, Dorky, why'd you kill me? You know, I'll actually be co-commentating for the upcoming Chicagoland race, which I believe is the next race after this. I still have to make a schedule for next week, which should be, I'm planning on making it a Monday, Wednesday kind of thing. I believe that's Chicagoland and Michigan? Chicagoland and Michigan, I think, are the next 2 races, so look forward to that in the next coming weeks. We got a bit of a battle right here between Igus and Fear. Looks like Fear is trying to make a run on that 19 finally. Oh, my audio's a little fucked up. Yeah. I accidentally pulled on my headphone cord a while back, and now the audio is really janked up on it. I pay good money for this wired headset, so maybe I need to invest in a wireless one for when I'm streaming. But I had to step out for a second to actually get that fixed. Get back to the correct camera. There we go. The Fear gets ahead of Igus there while I was fixing the audio. And now 28 is on pit road, and so is the 10 of Squidward. Looks like everyone's starting to come down now. Looks like some people are starting to, some of our leaders are coming down. So Squidward came down for his first stop, but Peccary stays out for now, as Cole also came to pit road. And so did the 31 of No Maidens. So strategy actually may play an important role towards the end of this race. Let's see if she comes down now to pit road. There's Goots now running second. Yep, she's coming down pit road. Pecorine is now on pit road. Very fast entry into the pit road here at Montreal. For sure. This is a good view of it right here as Goots also comes down. I believe Donkey Kong and So Retro will also come down this time by. And Cubendorf as well. So Retro does not, but Donkey Kong does come down. Cubendorf stays out. And that's the rest of the field, or almost the rest of the field, who has not pitted yet. So I believe So Retro is going to lead the lap for the first time ever, actually, in this series, which is kind of wild. Now, he's not led a single lap this season, but now he's going to lead a lap here at Montreal and get those 5 bonus points. Right, as of so far, it's only been Pecorine who's led every lap so far, but So Retro is going to lead a lap for the first time tonight. Oh wait, the 08 is already pitted, so he's going to be the leader overall, I believe. So until he inevitably has to pit, because he pitted at lap 4, so in a few more laps he'll be the next one to pit. And all the cubes that are behind them, I believe Hubris would actually be the leader, followed by Cole, because then everyone else has to pit. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do here. As now it just updated, and it still says Pecorine's leader on my ticker, but it'll change eventually. Actually, Fear getting another spot is now past BV, the 66. So this may end up being a fuel mileage race, which could be really interesting. Let's see if So Retro decides to come down pit road this time along with Cubendorf. Actually, Cubendorf is already pitted, so Retro is going to be your leader. But as the laps wind down here in Montreal, we don't know how long it's going to be until that 08 pits. But now after the rest of the cubes that haven't pitted yet have come down, So Retro will lead, followed by Cubendorf in second, then Melee Fox third. Omori Jr. fourth, Bob the Builder fifth. Raccoon is going to be in sixth. Seventh is going to be Milawetta, then Fear, then BB, then I guess will run at your top 10. But all of these cubes still have to pit. However, they could somehow still stretch to the end if they could. They just got to really put their thought into their strategy stat. You mean they got to roll a good strategy. Ooh, Omori Cube gets loose in that corner and hits the wall. Gets loose in that little chicane right there. And that's going to have them lose a lot of momentum to Melee Fox. And here comes Bob the Builder looking to pass Omori Jr. As Bracelin's back on pit road, and so is the 42 Jinx. Daisy goes really wide right there, trying to get around Pac-Mobile, and she does. Bracelin's now out of pit road. Jinx now completes his stop. It's not fully confirmed that So Retro will win this race just yet. It all depends on if he can get to the end without a caution. A caution would actually be great for him, because then everyone else would probably pit and he would then be the leader. But we don't know if he can make it on fuel, because he pitted when everyone else did not at the lap 3 caution. So he's only 3 laps ahead of everyone else on fuel, as he's not coming down yet. Oh, the caution's out! Something must have happened to cause the yellow flag, and I'm not seeing anything just yet. But this is exactly what So Retro needed. We're just going to go back in time with the pace card to see when this caution happened. But, ooh, this changes everything. So it's been happening for a while now. It's right around here. So we're just going to take a look, see if anyone spun out. Oh, it was McQueen that had an issue. He looks like he probably spun out after hitting the Wall of Champions. There he is. Oh, his blood clot and Racelin, as Racelin rolls over. and is upside down at the World Champions and causes a roadblock. Oh, Jigalia Lost has to slam on the brakes. Pac-Mobile gets into the back of her. And Miku's just stuck behind her, and that's going to cause a yellow for the second time today. And this is going to royally destroy the strategies for everyone in this race so far. So problems for Blood Clot, problems for Sheepmobile. I believe Miku was also involved in that. And Racelin, who also went upside down. And McQueen, who was doing so well early in this race, he speeds down pit road. Probably not very happy after qualifying second. Racelin's still on pit road. I don't think she's going to finish this race. But now, what will the leaders do? Because the cubes that already pitted are still pretty decent on tires. So, do Pecorine and all the cubes that just pitted then continue to stay out? Because Sans Club pitted as well, I believe. So that's why he's further back. It all just depends on who comes down pit road here in these winding laps here at Montreal. Get ready now, going green. But now on this final straightaway, we'll be able to see what happens here. We're actually going to go from the rear view of the pace car and see who comes down pit road here. It'll be a little bit easier to see who does, because we'll be able to easily reverse the camera and see who comes down. But So Retro is going to get some laps in, and McQueen is out of the race after being involved in that crash. I think Blood Clot might have had an issue that caused him to stop at the Wall of Champions. Doesn't look like it though, but he must have hit the wall hard enough so that he just stopped. And that's why McQueen got into him, because he couldn't get around him. But let's see who pits. So Retro is pitting. Cubendorf is not pitting. The 4 of Cubendorf stays out. Who is also staying out? It is Beavy staying out. Chow stays out. Hee Hee Ha and Dumb Cat stay out. Squid Game stays out, even though there's a lap down. Doge Cube stays out. Squidward stays out. Pecorine stays out. And yeah, all the cubes that pitted earlier. Hubris, the Racer, Cole stay out. So now the complexion on who could potentially win this race has changed once again as So Retro, our leader, comes down pit road. And Cubendorf is going to be your leader, followed by Beavy and Chow and Hee Hee Ha. So once again, we don't know who's going to win this race, as we'll probably be at around 8 laps to go when we go back to green. No mech fails on pit road. Actually, some of them are repairing damage, so some of them must have hit the wall during their tenors. Pecorine's still on pit road. Pac-Mobile now gets out. But now your new top 10 is going to be Doge Cube in 10th, Squid Games in 9th, Dumb Cat, or no, he won't be in 8th. Doge Cube will be in, or Squidward will be in 10th, then Doge Cube, then Dumb Cat, then Hee Hee Ha, then Chow, then Beavy, then Cubendorf. But we'll have to wait to see when they come back across the line to see if the real top 10 once the game updates itself. But Cubendorf will get those 5 bonus points for leading a lap in this race. He has not led that many laps this season either, compared to other cubes that have done a lot of leading this season. Actually, neither Pecorine nor Cubendorf nor So Retro have led that many laps this season, so this is a big break for them to get some of those bonus points. And with another super speedway, actually Columbia is coming up pretty soon after Chicagoland, so yeah, Chicagoland then Columbia is our next 2 races on the schedule, and that's a super speedway. And that one will be hosted in the Discord. So we'll have a bunch of co-commentators for that one. But our co-commentator for Chicagoland will be Cole. As he commentated for Vegas, he did pretty good, if I say so myself. As Raceland is officially retired and will finish 40th in today's race. The bad season for that 80 team continues here at Montreal. Oh, and the 98 of Donkey Kong has lost a tire. Where is he in the field right now? Oh, he slowed up Melee Fox. We're all going to have to get around him, but he's going to have to come to pit road on this restart. He's going to hold up a lot of people on this restart, actually, if he... Oh, yeah, actually, if he goes to outside of the racing line... Oh, she's holding up the Raccoon right here. He doesn't really know what to do right now, because everyone's going to have to try and get around him as he comes to pit road. As we get back up to the front, Kubendorf will be your leader, although he's stretching his fuel. So who knows if he's actually going to make it to the end on fuel. Because the highest placed cube that... Oh, now Dumb Cat and Doge Cube are coming down, so it looks like they are running out. So I don't think these cubes can make it on fuel. And the highest placed cube that can is Sans Club, who is ahead of Hubris right now. But the green flag is out. Chow immediately goes to the outside. They're all fanning out immediately. Beavy now looking to take the lead away from Kubendorf on this restart. She goes way to the outside, but Kubendorf has an excellent run into the first few corners here under the Napa Bridge. Side by side for the lead going into the Wall of Champions. Ooh, does Kubendorf get forced up to the wall? Almost makes contact with the 66 of Beavy. Almost turned them both around, but Kubendorf will get ahead out of the Wall of Champions. I don't think these guys are going to be able to make it on fuel, because Doge Cube and Miku and Dumb Cat came down, and they did not pit under the caution, so I don't think a bunch of these cubes are going to make it on fuel. But you know one that might? Goots, because he pitted with that group earlier, so... And Sans Club is the highest running cube that has made 2 pit stops so far, so pit stop strategy is really making a difference in this race. Let's see if they actually have any issues before the end of this race, which is entirely possible, because considering we have a lot of race left with around 7 or 8 laps to go. Dang, Coy LaJoy got involved in an accident. That sucks. Ty Gibbs is leading the cup race. Wow, that's wild. Imagine if he wins. That'd be wild. And now Kubendorf. Oh, almost all the leaders are coming down now. I think someone got spun on pit road. Or maybe, yeah, he looked like he got spun on pit road, but no, that was not the case. All of our leaders that did not pit, including Hubris, are coming down. So this may end up being a fuel mileage finish, as now Squidward is out front for the first time today. Finally getting some sunshine out front. He's going to lead a lap, get those 5 bonus points. Goots now runs second. Sans Club third. Pecorine back at the 4th. The Racer now in 5th, looking to potentially make it 2 wins this season. In the 16. Ooh, Squid Games gets way wide, slides up the track, almost gets in the grass, and he... Oh, Eggdog and Raccoon both just hit the wall back there. I think Shadow hit it as well. But no other problems in the Wall of Champions back there. Cole and No Maiden's going at it for a top 10 spot. Although I don't know if either of these two will be able to make it on field. Actually, Cole has pitted twice, so I believe he can make it to the end. The only cubes left in the top 10 who have not made 2 stops are Squidward, Goots, and I believe it's Pecorine. Because those 3 have only made 1 stop so far this race. So will they have to stop again? I believe if they pit, then it'll be between Sans Club and the Racer for the lead, which should be an interesting battle for sure. But Goots has taken the lead away from Squidward under that run. And he will also lead a lap under green here, and he will get 5 bonus points, which is very crucial because he won a race, but he's still under the top 30 in the cut line. See if he comes down here. No, he does not. Neither does Squidward. None of our leaders coming down yet. They're trying to stretch it as long as they can on this last green flag run. Donkey Kong's still on pit road, so he's definitely got a major issue with that car. Donkey Kong was actually on the playoff bubble, so this is bad for him in points, especially. I believe that'll actually put Meloetta in the playoff bubble. Even Meloetta's having a pretty... Well, Meloetta's running 14th right now, which ain't too bad. Ooh, Goots took that corner a little wide, and here comes Square with a bit of a run here in the chicane. They both take it wide coming out of that corner. Sans Club still trying to make a bit of a gap. Looks like Pecorine can't really close on them either. But these two still have yet to make another stop. Another cube that hasn't yet to make another stop is, I believe it's Sheepmobile in the 30? No, yeah, it is Sheepmobile. He's only made one stop this race. Donkey Kong finally gets out of pit road. And he is now 2 laps down in 38th. So the racer running 5th. So Retro is still now in 6th. No Maidens in 7th, Cole in 8th, Eggdog 9th, and Fear in 10th. Fear's actually made up a lot of spots since the start of this race. Started deep in the field and is now in the top 10. I believe he's also got a pretty good road course rating, or maybe he rolled high if he has a B or a C rank. But ooh, Omori Jr. just slapped the wall back there. Oh wow, Omori Sr. almost did as well. I think he may have gotten bumped by Imposter or Daisy coming in out of the final corner to the start-finish line. But now Melee Fox is trying to get around the lap cube of Squid Games, who's now 37th after Donkey Kong pitted. But Squidward trying to chase someone down for the lead again, and this time it's the 7 of Goots. 96 with an issue, that's Chow, who pitted under that yellow, and he's now probably going to have to come down again. That's what those curbs will do to you. They'll make your suspension break pretty easily at a track like this. 5 laps to go in this race, although it's a lot here, so anything can change in those next 5 laps. Ooh, Squidward with a huge run to Eau Rouge. Oh, he's going to get a bit of a look, but Goots is going to get away here. And they're going to get out of Eau Rouge, I believe that's how you pronounce it, very easily. He's got a bit of a draft, though. He's trying to stay behind the 7 as much as he can. Trying to make another dive bomb. He takes another look, but no, he's not going to go for it. It's very hard to make dive bombs at a corner like that. At least in the final S's. Squidward ran a much faster lap than Goots did that time. Oh, but he ran wide in that corner. He's going to lose a lot of momentum in that corner. Maybe he didn't. He's still got a slight disadvantage out of that corner, but here he comes again. Trying to get around the 7. Ooh, the 47 of Gun with an issue. He's going to have to come down as well. As I think Chow is slower, but he's not got huge issues. Although Gun's probably going to have to come down pit road, though. The real question is how long will Goots have to stay out before coming down pit road? Because I don't think he'll be able to make it on fuel. He has to really stretch it, because if he doesn't make it to the end, or if Squidward doesn't make it to the end, then Sans Club might end up being the winner, which would be very shocking. And Pecorine as well, I don't think, can make it to the end. Just depends on when they pitted last. Ooh, looks like he's committing. No, he's not. They're still staying out for now. Squidward has a great run on Goots there coming out of the final corner. He's going to try and get that draft. Potentially look to dive bomb in these next few corners. He ran another faster lap than Goots did there. Pecorine still has the fastest lap of the race so far. Not really much changing over there. Among Us and Gun are both on pit road now. Among Us fixing damage, and so is Gun. So they must have both had something. They got a battle for the lead. Here comes Squidward to the outside of Goots for the lead, and he's going to try and take it away, and he will. But how long will he take it away for, and can he make it to the end on fuel? Goes into the S's right here. .66 of BV is also in. Who is running in the top 10? No, I don't believe they were. So BV's back on pit road with damage repair, so she definitely has something wrong with her cube. Must have hit the wall pretty hard at one point. Sands Club is actually getting closer and closer to our leaders than before. So this could end up being a three-way battle for the lead if all the stars align for our leaders here. Oh, Dragalia lost. Has retired from the race. I believe with damage from earlier. I didn't even know she came down pit road, but that's... So Dragalia lost is going to lose some spots in the points. It's going to hurt her chase eligibility for sure. Three laps to go on this run. Squidward really needs to make it to the end on fuel. And there's a chance that they actually may run out of fuel while coming to the line. I've seen it happen before. It'll happen again. Especially on a track like this where it's very long and easy to have something like that happen. Now they're catching up to the lap car of Squid Games, who's very slow compared to the rest of the field. Actually, he just came off of pit road, and so did BV. So who knows if they'll actually have any issues getting around them. Actually catching up really quickly to Squid Games in the 0-1, but now 2 laps to go. Neither of our leaders pit. I don't think any of our leaders pit that still have the pit, so Pecorine stays out for now. How long will Squidward be able to stretch the fuel mileage? The 3 of Shadow has come down pit road for damage repair. He must have slapped the wall at one point. So a decent run for that cube is definitely going down the drain after today. And that is not what that cube needs at all. Have another bad finish. Especially since now he's probably mathematically ineligible to make the chase if he wins the race. Squidward now building a bit of an advantage ahead of Goots now, who's passing the 0-1 of Squid Games to get around the lap cube, but Squid Games is going to put up a fight as they're going to go side by side here. Coming to the white flag. Will Squidward go to pit road? And will he have to pit here as he tries to get around the 66 of BV? Doesn't look like he's committing to pit road anytime soon as he's getting around the 66 with no problems at all. No, he will not. He's going to try and stretch the fuel out as much as he can. White flag at Montreal, 1 lap to go. Can Squidward make it to the end without running out of fuel? Ooh, is that So Retro coming down? Yes, So Retro's coming down pit road. And so is Fear. Fear is coming down pit road as well. Are these cubes running out of fuel towards the end? Now Raccoon, Meloetta, and Melee Fox are coming down. On the final lap, so many are coming down. 34 of... Oh, they're getting splashes of fuel. They know they're about to run out. What will that be for our leader? There's Imposter, there's Igus, there's Bob the Builder. There's Daisy on pit road to get splashes of fuel. Or to get as much as they can to make it to the end. For 3.14 miles. But back to the front of the pack. Squidward still has a pretty decent lead ahead of the 7 of Goots. Can he make it to the end on fuel, or does he have to pit when he gets to the line? Because if he pits before on the last lap, then Goots has to pass him and not pit at the same time. Coming out of Air Rouge. Can he stretch the fuel? Can he stretch his fuel to the end of the race? Let's find out. He still has a very big advantage over Goots, so I think he may be able to do it if he does come down pit road. Looks like he's not coming down. No, he will not. And coming out of the S's for the final time, Squidward's finally going to win a race in 2023, and it's going to be at Montreal, the road course. Squidward wins it at Montreal. And anyone else coming down pit road? Pecorine makes it on fuel, so does the Racer. He gets a top 5. No Maidens gets a top 10. Cole gets his first top 10 in quite a while, so does Eggdog. And the 11 of Bloodclaw, after being involved in that wreck, rebounds to 9th. And the last cube in the top 10 will be the 02 of Omori Jr. Jinx will actually finish 11th. Started last, by the way, and now finishes 11th. So Retro finishes 12th. Sheepmobile 13th. Omori Sr. 14th. Packmobile, I believe, Santa got 15th. Packmobile 16th. Let's look at the rest of our grid. Chow got last cube in the top 20. It's definitely going to shuffle up some spots in the points for sure. Especially with cubes like Racelin, Jagalia lost, Donkey Kong, Squid Game's having issues. That'll certainly be a bad blow to their points for sure. But Squidward's going to lock a spot into the chase. I'm pretty sure he's high enough in points to actually qualify for it. So he will be confirmed to be in the chase for now if he continues to have good runs. Let's go ahead and double check the export. Oh, now we're at session complete, so now we gotta export. Alright, so thank you all for coming out to the race here at Montreal. I believe next will be Chicagoland, so that'll be tomorrow, I believe. So thank you all for watching, and good night.